Okay, recording started.
Okay, very good. And we are beginning. And welcome everyone to the monthly Satsang of Anandamayi Ma. We are the Anandamayi Ma support group. We don't proselytize Ma. We don't go out and stand on a soapbox and have, try to convert people to Maism.
But if you have a Ma addiction, this
Yeah,
is the place to be.
it's true. We catch the body as it falls. We let Ma first touch people's hearts. And then we're here to provide support and community and further instruction and general fun with fun. So that's why we're here. Um, and let's think about what we're doing. I always like to start this way. Um, Anandamayi Ma is a living, eternal force, and relating to her is as infinite as she is. The more we try to relate to her, the more she reveals herself. And we can only know her if she reveals herself to us. And as I say many times, as I say every time, and I will say every time, Ma says, you cannot even think of me unless I first think of you. So she's thought of us, and we're all here by her grace only. And the more we try to relate to her, the more we try to remember her, the more we try to read her words, pray to her, say her name, sing her name, the more she will slowly unveil herself to us, and we'll experience her more deeply. Gloria is a good example of that. Of more and more experience of Ma. She'll come to us in dreams. She'll just be more present with us. We'll feel her presence more with us. It's a matter of she calls us, then we have to kind of hone our tuning into her. And she really emphasized always having satsang, like we're doing now. And our Swami Bhaskarnanda, Ma's main Swami, who Ma placed me under at my Diksha, and who sent me back to India in 2001 to live in our ashram, he always insisted on having satsang. And he encouraged people to do like us, meet with devotees, read Ma's words, sing, think of her. So this is a really wonderful thing that we're trying to accomplish here. And I started this with the idea also of having community. And it's been, especially since COVID, since we're doing this on Zoom, now we really are having, it's a strange community in the sense that it's online, but I'm meeting more and more with you, and you and people are meeting within your own groups and things, and so it's really nice. So as always, I like to ask people's patience so that I want to introduce ourselves, and then we'll introduce every single person. We want to just see everyone's face, so turn on your video. And okay, first let's do first things first. Okay, so my name is Mangalananda, and I received Diksha from Anandamayi Ma in 1973 at her Vrindavan ashram. Traveled with her for a couple of years, and I've been living in her ashrams and in her lineage ever since. And I was given the title Acharya, which means just a lineage teacher, from our Ma Sharanam ashram in central India, in Madhya Pradesh. And so that's why I'm doing this. And this is my wife.
I'm Gloria, and I'm also a Ma devotee. And I'm delighted and thrilled to be all together with all of you.
Wonderful. And our co-host is Pragya Hallstrom, who is the author of Mother of Bliss and also the newly published Gospel of Anandamayi Ma. So Pragya, and also the new proprietor of the Anandamayi Ma Ashram and Temple in Amherst, Massachusetts. So Pragya, will you say hello in a couple of words?
Jai Ma, it's great to be with you all. Yes, we're sort of in major transition from one house to another. And yesterday we had a lovely crew of 8 people help us carry Ma's temple from this house to our new house and set up the temple. It was really a joyful occasion. We won't be fully up and running there until the end of the month, but we continue to we'll have Tuesday satsang this Tuesday. And then in the first Sunday of April, we'll have a live, what we call the hybrid satsang, where people can come live and all of you on Zoom who live far away. The temple's in Amherst, Massachusetts, just so you know how far you have to drive to get there. Jai Ma.
And either Renu or Pragya, if you could put the ashram link on the chat at some point, so people can tune in and see. Pragya's doing regular satsangs, so as well as this every third Sunday. She's doing the first Sunday. She's doing lots of different events you can tune into and just soak up more of Ma's presence through these things. Wonderful. Okay, and our technical co-host, the ever ready to serve and wonderful friend Renu. Will you introduce yourself? And then Renu will we'll call out your name and just temporarily unmute yourself and say hello and where you're from. Okay? And because later we'll have an open mic sharing and we can talk more. But for now, let's just see. I want to see everybody's face and just see where you're from. Okay? Renu?
Hey Ma, welcome everyone. I am on Long Island today, but I live in California normally. So Jay Ma, welcome to everyone.
And she's going to be singing backup on Christian Das's new album next week.
Yeah, I am. That's why I'm here in New York. But okay, so let's see. We'll just go down the participant list, and then as Mangalanandaji said, if you could unmute and then just tell us briefly where you're from. So Chris Redfield, you can go first.
Hi. So grateful to be here with you guys. So very happy to join with you. Celebration of Anandamayi Ma. My name is Chris, and I come from Northern California.
Very good. We're in Northern California. We're also there.
Arcata, up in Humboldt, and I used to live in Big Sur.
Okay, and we're in Marin, so we're just south of you. Wonderful.
Jay Ma, welcome. You're
you.
actually from Northern California, not what we consider Northern California. Okay. Welcome. Next we have David Herring. I'm not sure if Linda's with him.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Okay, good.
So it's David and Linda. We're in Williamsburg, Virginia, which is like the eastern part of Virginia. And we met Mangalananda and Gloria in the summer at the Yogaville. And that was really so nice. And to celebrate there, the festival that was there also. So, and we are very grateful we were pulled in by Ma. That's kind of
then we're not supposed to talk much.
strange, but anyway, it's true. But it's true. It's true. She pulled us.
It is
in.
true. It's good to see you both. That's really good.
Thank you. Good to see you, Jay Ma.
Jay Ma.
Jay Ma, welcome to you both. Great. And let's see here. Next we have Katya.
The cat was here.
Jay Ma,
Be sure and
it's
mute
Katya.
after you introduce
Oh
yourself.
boy, look at cat.
Can you
David,
hear me?
David, be sure and mute. Yeah, you're still unmuted. Otherwise, we could also do echoes and noise. Okay, Katya.
Yes. Jay Ma, it's Katya. I'm from Portugal and I live in Madeira Island. Very happy to be here with you. Jay Ma.
Jay Ma. You're looking very wintry today.
It's very cold here today. Also.
Jay Ma, welcome. Katya, good to see you. And Denise and Frank from Portland, Oregon, or Hermiston.
Jay Ma, Frank and Denise
Hi, you
from
guys.
Hermiston, Oregon. Jay Ma.
Jay Ma, good to see you both.
Always nice.
And we got to remedy this problem not having met in person. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We'll work on that.
Okay, Jay Ma, welcome Frank and Denise. Okay, next we have Gabriel.
Hello, Jay Ma, Gabriel in Seattle, as always.
Good to see you, Gabriel. Very good. Jay Ma.
Hi.
Jay Ma, welcome. And this is an odd one for me. It's John Daly. I see him 3 times a week on Zoom, but not at this time usually. So John Daly, welcome.
Thanks, Renu. Hi, everybody. I'm John Daly, and Renu and I meditate together 3 mornings a week. And through Renu, I have become Facebook friends with Mangalananda. So it's good to see you live and not in person, but on Zoom.
Good. Welcome, John. Very, very nice addition. Good to see you. Nice.
Welcome, John. Jay Ma.
Thank you.
And yes, next, Molly. She's on Long Island, I think.
Yes. Jai Ma, it's Molly. I'm on Long Island.
We met at the yeah, we
Yes,
met
we
you
met.
at the Samyan Sapta. Yeah, good to
Yes,
see you,
yes.
Molly. Good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
All right, Jai Ma, welcome, Molly. Next, we have Saraswati.
Jai Ma, everyone. I recently moved to Freedom, Maine, and my internet appears to be a little unstable today. We never know what's going to happen up here in the middle of nowhere. So if I turn off my camera, it is only so that I can see you very clearly. So Jai Ma, everyone.
Jai Ma, and good to see you, Saraswati. It's been a couple months.
I see the snow out your window.
Yeah.
My goodness.
We live in California, and we're happy about it.
Yeah.
Jai Ma, welcome, Saraswati. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you again.
All right, and next we have Stephen.
Saraswati's been working very much with Shrub Pragya in the new ashram, and hopefully will continue to do so, even though she's now in Maine. So, good worker for Ma.
Hello, Jai Ma. My name is Stephen. I just got invited yesterday to join here, and right now I'm in California at it's called the Hidden Valley Ashram, one of Yogananda's ashrams, but normally I'm from around Toronto, Ontario.
Welcome, Stephen. You wrote me an email, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Very happy you could make it. Very good. And I plan on answering your email maybe this afternoon. But how nice. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Hidden Valley is a wonderful place. I one time did a retreat there when my brother Bhimalananda was still alive. I got to see him a couple of days before he left his body because he's come in and out of my life at different times. He was a direct disciple of Yogananda.
Yeah, yeah.
2 days before he left his body. They're at Hidden Valley.
Yeah, it's a wonderful atmosphere here with all the monks and the environment and everything. It's a real blessing to be here.
Good, good. And I'm very happy to see you, Stephen. When Ma has touched you, you have all the symptoms of being touched by Ma. Good.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, Stephen, welcome. And we have Yana from the Big Island.
Jai Ma, everyone. I'm living in Hilo on the Big Island. Happy to be here.
Good to see you, Yana.
Jai Ma, Yana.
Jai Ma, aloha and welcome. And finally, we have our friend Yatish, who celebrated a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Rena.
You're welcome.
Happy birthday, Yatish. You're driving. Be careful.
Yeah. I just wanted to say I love you guys, Anandamayi and Gloria ji. And it would be lovely to have your blessings for my birthday yesterday.
Okay, let's do my birthday for Yatish's birthday. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshya Mamritat. Om Namah Shivaya. And we place Ma's Paduka, which she wore on her own feet, on your head. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Absolutely. Is it
and Renu, we have two other people. Carla just joined, and we have Andre.
Okay, Carla, you're up.
Awesome. Jai Ma, everyone. Lovely to be here. I'm from Carla from Rockport in Massachusetts, not far from the ocean.
Very good.
Lovely.
Thank you for joining us, Carla. Beautiful.
Jai Ma.
And Andre?
Yes, Andre.
Andre, are you there? Is it Andre Rial from France?
He's just sort of disappeared, but maybe he'll return.
Oh no, because he said he was coming. A very old and dear friend from France who.
Yeah, he's been here on the screen for a while.
Oh shoot.
Maybe he'll come back.
Watch for it because I like to talk to him if he.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Well, let me know. Okay. Very good. So we can now begin, as we always do, reading Ma's words of assurance that she is definitely with us. We just have to learn how to tune into her. So Ma says, I am ever with each one of you, wherever you happen to be, on Zoom or not. But your vision is tied down to worldly matters, and you have little time to direct your eyes to this body and your thoughts and actions. What can I do? But know it for certain that whatever you do in thought and deed, whether you are near or in distant lands, never escapes my loving attention. Just as at a flash of torchlight your faces gleam forth in their bold outlines, all your facial expressions appear in my mind when you meditate on me or talk about me or sit down to pray to me. So Ma is not bound by the rules of physical existence as we are in our limited consciousness at the moment, which we're all working on. But Ma is literally the embodiment of infinite consciousness. So she is always the self of the self. She hears everything we say. She hears our prayers, and she's with us now, and I'm hoping that we pay attention to her. She every single moment. This is herself telling us this. Be able to do without me, but I simply cannot do without any of you. So we can't be missing in Ma's world because she fills everything. She says also, for this body, because those of you who aren't familiar with Ma's way of speaking, she rarely said I. She would occasionally, but usually she said this body, Yeshirya. Yeshirya says this body speaks, because she could speak through any body, but she just said this body is saying. She says, for this body, the question of accepting or declining anyone does not arise. At all times and under all circumstances, in inspiration and in dryness, this body remains and ever will remain with everyone. She's inseparable from our consciousness. So it's on her side, we're already one with her. On her side, we're always with her. So all the work is on our side. We have to just stop this false sense of separation and stop this blindness of not seeing her by seeing everything else in the world. So we have to blind ourselves to all the other things in the world and just concentrate on that one side. She says, anyone calling out for a God from any land, in any language, and in any age, remember their cries reach this heart like waves crashing onto the shore. Isn't that beautiful? So let's think of Ma, and let's start, as we always do, with this one particular kirtan that we wrote for our ashram in India, which is called Ma Sharanam Ashram, where we simply say Om Ma Sharanam. Sharanam means a refuge, a place of refuge and safety and strength and stability. So we're saying, Ma, you are all these things to me. You are my refuge. You are my stronghold in the storm. Om Ma Sharanam. Shri Anandamayi Mata Ki Jai. Om Ma Sharanam. 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 Om Anandamayi Ma, 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 Om Sharanam, 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 All together one last time. Om Sharanam, Om Sharanam, Om Sharanam, Om Sharanam. So let's just sit quietly for a moment and feel Ma's presence with us. If we just tune into her, she's right here. So before we start, I want to ask: is Andre Rial here? I saw your name there, but we didn't get to see you. Andre, are you there?
He is here.
Turn on your video and say hello.
His video's on, but he needs to unmute.
Unmute, Andre.
Yeah, here I am.
There you are. Wow, good to see you, brother. So many years now.
Yeah, a long time, man. It's a long time we met.
Are you in France? Are you in France right now?
Yeah, I'm in France, and Natasha is with me here.
Natasha, how good to see you again. I haven't seen you since Berlin. Andre and I go way back, dear friends. We used to travel together in Europe. We've met in India at Swami Narananda's place. We were always at the Berlin Yoga Festival where Swami Gurush and I would play every year, sing every year. Anyway, good to see you, brother. Good to see you after so many years.
I'm very happy also. Very happy.
Yeah. Hey, we're both looking older. Our beards are white. You're welcome. We're just starting the Mati Satsang. Very good to see you. Very, very good. Okay, so I always like to read some events from Ma's life, because then we see.
Mangalanandaji, your sound and video are breaking up.
How she breathed the same air we did, and just how she.
Mangalanandaji?
I don't know what to do. Should I try turning off the musicians thing?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You're breaking up both your sound and your video.
Off the musicians. Is that any better? It may be that. Am I?
It sounds good right now.
Can people hear me, or am I frozen? Oh shoot.
We can hear you. We're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's try to go on. I think it's just our internet. I don't know anything we can do about it. Okay, so this is let's look. Ma many times appeared in different forms. I mean, I myself know from the times I travel with Ma, you could be sitting in a satsang looking at her, and sometimes she would suddenly just look very young. Then sometimes she would look very old. She would change. She had no form. Her form could change instantly. And many times in people's lives, in Ma's Leela, people would see her as their Ishta Devata, as Krishna or Ram, or even as one time someone saw her as Guru Hargobind. She walked into the room as Guru Hargobind. So this is from Didi Guru Priya's diary. It's just about an event like that. Let's see, this happened in January of 1937. Today, one lady came and took Sri Ma to the ashram of one Mataji whose name was Sevadasi. This Sevadasi Mataji had herself come to Sri Ma yesterday and earnestly requested her to visit this ashram. This is why Sri Ma got down at Bairaghat today, accompanied by the lady sent by Sevadasi Mataji to go to her ashram. There were also many other persons with Sri Ma. As soon as Sri Ma reached the ashram, she was received by Sevadasi Mataji, conducted by her to the temple of Govindaji inside the ashram, and offered a seat on his veranda, where Sri Ma sat down. In the temple were images of Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. From the ladies present there, who used to visit Sevadasi Mataji regularly, it was learnt that for the last 22 or 23 years, this Mataji, this Sevadasi Mataji, had not taken any food or drink. She has not taken even charanamrita, which is from the offering of the puja, but only sprinkling it on her head. During all this year, she has neither passed any stool or any urine. Also, now and then, she had been going into samadhi trance and remaining laying down in this state for 2 or 3 days. During her conversation with Ma, she said, "Once Thakurji," which is what she calls her image of Krishna, "once Thakurji told me that he had closed my outer door and he had taken over all my burdens. I too gave my entire burden to him and am now just marking time. All my eating and drinking stopped on that very day. Also, I do not go out of this ashram without orders from Sri Krishna. I had, of course, received information about your arrival in Dhaka, but did not visit you. The day before yesterday, Thakur ordered me as follows." Now, this is Sri Krishna, who's God, speaking in a vision to this great saint. The day before yesterday, Thakur ordered me as follows: "The body in which I live has come here to Dhaka. Go yourself and conduct that body with respect to this place." Addressing Sri Ma, she said, "That is why I had gone to you last night. You are Sri Krishna himself. All these days I have had your darshan in subtle form. Today Sri Govinda has come in flesh and blood. Now remain in your temple. I will not let you go." After hearing all this, Sri Ma spoke to her like a child, smiling all the time. "Today I have heard from you that Govinda lives in this body. Well, since when has Govinda come into this body?" Sevadasi Mataji replied, "Since birth. Today Govinda has come, and now I will not let him go." Saying this, she put her arms around Sri Ma in a tight embrace. The ladies present there sang bhajans, and later Kirtan was started, in which all of us joined. Soon Nama Kirtan became quite loud, singing the names of God. Sevadasi Mataji had caught hold of Sri Ma in such a manner that it was difficult to disengage her. Kirtans continued for a long while. Gradually, Sevadasa Mataji was separated and she laid herself down. Sri Ma got up and every part of her body began to dance to the tune of the kirtan. All felt spellbound. It was indeed an extraordinary sight. Sri Ma directed everyone to lift up their hands and do kirtan while dancing. Encouraged by Sri Ma, the devotees began to dance with great bliss and without the least hesitation. The kirtan continued without a break for quite a long time. Only when Sri Ma got ready to return was it stopped. Sevadasa Mataji, however, was on no account prepared to let Sri Ma go away. When Sri Ma made her understand by telling her, I will not be going away from you. Only let this body go. You know everything. Her composure was restored. She then released her hold on Sri Ma, and taking Ma with us, we came out. So that's from Guru Priya Didi. No, sorry, that's from Ganguly. That's from, Anandamayi. Very good. But let's just kind of contemplate that scene for a while. I know in my days traveling with Ma, amazing people would come. All these saints would come. Ma just drew to herself all the saints of India, and amazing. I mean, I met many householder people. I think were saints, and they had strong spiritual lives. And so here's this wonderful saint who hasn't eaten for 23 years. Krishna has just like stopped her whole body and just is living with her. And Krishna says, "The body in which I live is come." He himself is saying, he and Ma are one. There's been actually an entire book written about that. Of the different, they give different examples of how Ma and Krishna are one. I can tell you my experience. I got to spend the last 10 years of Swami Bhaskarananda's life in intimate contact with him many, many times in different places. And it was a great, great blessing. He was Ma's main Swami at the end of her life. He was a wonderful, realized saint. Everyone who knows him loves him. And he passed away just in 2012, I think. We were there at the last days of his life, too. And he told me one time, he told me this himself. He said, he told us in a real intimate, small satsang, where it was like he didn't broadcast this. He said he was in Jagannath Puri with Mataji one time, many years ago. The Jagannath Puri is one of the main temples of Krishna, of Lord Krishna, in the east coast of India, in Orissa. And he said they'd all gone for darshan in the temple. And when they came out, it was the middle of the night, and suddenly Ma called for Swami Bhaskaranandaji. And he came and said, "Yes, Ma, what is it?" And he said, Ma was like a child. When things happened, she would just, either to deity or someone, she would just tell him joyfully, like a child. He says, "Swamiji, the funniest thing just happened. I was sitting here, and suddenly this body was in the temple of Jagannath once again. It was the middle of the night." And she said, "Look, and
You're freezing.
You're broken up and freezing.
Came, Krishna, and how do we interpret? So on one level, Kamala is a state of fact.
Mangalanandaji. Uh-oh. Right at that critical moment in that story. Terrible. Ma. Is he gone?
Yeah, he's gone right now.
Oh, dear.
His picture is still in the lower right corner here.
Oh, is it?
I think he's rebooting.
Okay, can people see me now? We just blip.
We stopped being able to hear you. You froze just as you were telling the beautiful story about what happened with Ma.
When did it end?
Yeah, did you get the whole thing, or when did it get?
We got almost none of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see if I can tell it with the same inspiration. Okay, so it was what Swami Bhaskarananda was telling me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Swami Bhaskaranandaji was Ma's main Swami for the last 20 years of Ma's life, and a wonderful saint. He went into seclusion after Ma's leaving her body and did years of tapasya and was a realized master and a egoless, beautiful child.
It's happening again. I'm sorry, Jay Moss.
I got to spend the last 10 years of his life there, and Ma kind of put me under his guidance. And I just life, I had a lot of it's this terrible Wi-Fi.
I think the best thing, maybe if you turned off your video, perhaps if you turned off your video, we could hear this story on audio.
Let's try that. Okay, let's try it. Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, we can.
Okay, well, let's try this then. Okay, I think I was in the Bhimpur ashram with our group, and Swami Bhaskaranaji was there, and he told us this in a small satsang. I don't think it's ever been written anywhere. He said he was in Jagannath Puri with Anandamayi Ma many years ago. Jagannath Puri is on the east coast in Orissa. It's one of the main Krishna temples of Ma. Jagannath is there. He said he was with Ma and a small group of people, and they all went in for darshan in the afternoon. And they came out, and then in the middle of the night, someone came and woke him up and said, Ma is calling for you. So he went to Ma's room. Can you still hear me, Pragya? Okay. He went to Ma's room, and Ma was, so simple, like a child. When things happened to her and visions and things, like she would either tell Didi or somebody, she would just say, like a child, oh, I got to tell you what happened. So she said, oh, Swamiji, listen what happened. Ma was sitting there in her room, and suddenly she said she was in the middle of the Jagannath temple. But she looked, and the images of Sri Jagannath and Subhadra and Balaram weren't there. And instead, she was made to go and stand up in their place. And a voice came and it said, in Treta Yuga, I came as Krishna. In Kali Yuga, I came as Ma. And she said, Swamiji, what do you think of this? But I mean, that's Ma's own words that Swami Bhaskarnanda, who is the embodiment of truth, told me. So there's been a whole book written about the similarities between the incarnations of Krishna and Anandamayi Ma. It's very interesting. But like, how do we interpret this? This is so beyond our comprehension. We can't comprehend it. But in Ma's vision of seeing things, she always stressed everything comes from unity and goes back into unity. And she said, ultimately, it's all the one light of God. So ultimately, Krishna and Ma are one, and all of us and Ma are one, and Krishna are one. But there is a relative truth to it that is really amazing, in that Ma was a very unique manifestation of divinity, and that she embodied so many deities. And okay, so I want to read one more thing that takes this step a little bit further. Okay. If you know any Gaudiya Vaishnavas, like we call the Hare Krishna people, they're very wonderful. They're very devotional. They have great devotion and chanting, great prasad, but they're a little bit fanatical. They say, only if our group is real, all these things. And so this is Sri Hari Baba was a Gaudiya Vaishnava, and he was fanatically devoted to Ma. He loved Ma so much. And listen to this. He says, in Sri Dham Vrindavan, Sri Hari Baba also once put a garland of flowers around the neck of Anandamayi Ma and said, Mahaprabhu is their Ishta. He was the great reappearance of Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, yeah. And they won't say this by anybody else. Sri Hari Baba's devotee, Lalita Prasadji, was present at that time. He told Hari Baba's disciple, devotee Manohar, that the very moment when Hari Baba put the garland around Ma's neck, he was amazed to see Ma in the same form as Mahaprabhu. He garlanded her, and then literally he saw her as Mahaprabhu. Anandamayi Ma, it was as if Mahaprabhu himself had appeared before my eyes. This is what he said. What a feeling. In this context, Ma also said, Pitaji, she said this to Hari Baba, after garlanding this body in the way you did, do you know what the feeling was in this body? And then she doesn't explain it. So obviously she felt herself as Mahaprabhu. Now, Yogi Bai, this was Sri Durga Chandra Singh. He was the ruler of the Maharaja of Ceylon. And Ma named him Yogi Bai because even though he was a king and he had all the duties of a Maharaja, and in the British Raj, the Maharaja still had some power. They still ruled their people. And he had an entire kingdom there in northern India. And he met Ma. He loved saints. He met Ma and he fell in love with her. He invited her to stay outside his palace because Ma didn't go into private places. And he became her devotee, and then his whole court became Ma's devotee, and eventually his entire region became devoted to Ma. And even though he was a king, he meditated for hours a day. He was a great accomplished yogi. So Ma called him Yogi Bai. So here, Yogi Bai, the king of Ceylon, had many visions of Ma as different goddesses, as Padmabha Vishnu, as Purusha, and so on. One of these times he saw Vindhyavasini Devi and Ma were identical. While chanting in his waking state, he saw the blissful mother in the form of Vidyavasini Devi. After a few moments, Ma assumed her own form. He saw the garland that he had put around Ma's neck hanging around the neck of the goddess, and the garland he put around Vindhyavasini's neck in the temple during pilgrimage on the neck of Ma. So, Ma could be any form. You remember Tubaiji, Baiji was an early devotee of Ma, Jyotish Chandra Roy, who in our lineage, we look to Baiji as kind of the example of the perfect devotee. He was so devoted to Ma, and he had so many wonderful experiences with Ma. And he once asked Ma, "Who are you?" And she said, "Ma, people see you as Krishna, as Ram, as Kali." Many people saw Ma as Kali, especially Bengalis. And Ma said, "Ma, people see this body according to their own samskara. According to their own inner deep soul perception of God, they see this body that way." But she says, "But I'm beyond all that." So what is Ma's real form? We don't know. We have to find out through our own sadhana and our own union with her. So let's read this a little bit more. I want to read something Ma said. Then we'll have another kirtan. Okay, this is some very important instruction from Ma. She says, the akshara. Akshara means indestructible, but it also means a seed sound. So Ma uses this word frequently in her talks. The akshara through which liberation appears in the mind is known as mantra. That which saves the mind. These power sounds are themselves fully conscious, chinmaya, and they are nothing but vibratory Brahman. That's God in name form, as absolute as Nama Brahman. Persevere, convinced that divinity is realized in the name. That's a very important statement. Persevere, convinced that divinity is realized in the name. The seed, always think to yourself, the seed planted within me will unfailingly grow into a mighty tree. Keep on, steadfast and faithful. Just as a seed once sown should be watered and fertilized, so this mantra seed must be made to sprout by the nourishing water and fertilizer of satsang. See what we're doing? Satsang. This is the fertilizer for Ma's plant. She continues, as you desire, so you find. In whatever form or without form, you will find the one itself. Isn't that beautiful? So we want to go to Pragya's reading of, I think I've just lost everything.
No, we're here.
No, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay.
But I think you were going to have a kirtan next.
Yeah, so let's ask our dear sister Katya in Portugal to sing kirtan for us.
Always a joy for me to share kirtan with you. So today I will sing Bhajamana Ma, 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 Ma. Let's sing, oh mind, sing the name of the divine, blissful mother, Anandamayi Ma. Ananda Rupa, Ma, Ma. The blissful mother, Anandamayi Ma, who is the embodiment of bliss. So let's sing along. Jai Ma. Anandamayi Ma, Ananda Rupa Ma, Bhajamana ma 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 Bhajamana ma 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 Anandamayi ma ma Anandarupa 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 ma ma Bhajamana Bhajamana ma 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 Let's sing her sacred name, Ma. One more time. Anandamayi ma ma Anandarupa ma ma One last time all together. Anandamayi ma ma Anandarupa ma ma
Thank you, Katya. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Pragya, wasn't that the very kirtan that Swami Vijayananda Mahaswami would always ask you to sing when you were at the Samadhi?
That's right. He loved that bhajan.
Yeah. That's so nicely done. Okay, well, let's go to Pragya now. Like I said, she's a mother of author of bliss. She's an author, mother of bliss. I think why my Wi-Fi is going down. The author of Mother of Bliss, and also this. Why don't you, for those who are here for the first time and who also will see the recording later, why don't you explain briefly what this book is that you've
Okay. So I'm going to be reading from the second volume of the Gospel of Sri Anandamayi Ma. And these two volumes are the transcriptions, translations of the conversations that Ma had at the end of Satsang, which were called Matri Satsang, where she answered questions and was in dialogue with her devotees, and everyone waited for the end of whatever was going on, whether it was Sanyam Sapta or Kirtan, whatever, in hopes that Ma would speak for an hour and answer questions. So the tapes were donated to Harvard University Divinity School, and I had the blessing of spending 7 years immersed in them, turning them into these two volumes with my friend Jaya Sanyal, who was Ma's grandniece, who helped me with the translations. So I just have to say, I miss doing that work so much. It was my sadhana for 7 years, and it was a huge loss when it ended. And so I love it when I get a chance to read from here with you guys. So this is from tape number 63. It was from the Sanyam Saptaha in Kanpur in November of 1975. And I have to tell you the truth, usually I don't search for reading. I just ask Ma to pick it. So I open up the book and see what she has chosen. So Ma speaking. One grahasta, that's a householder, asked how to proceed. This body explained to him that you people are all the children of the rishis, the children of the seers. You are children of that immortal one. There is no question of death with you. It is only Panchabhuta, the 5 elements from which this body is created, that perishes, not you. Death is nothing but changing, and this changing goes on all the time in this creation. You are changing daily. You experience death every day. Earlier you were a child. That child died and you came into the form of a young man. After some years, this young man will be replaced by an old man. After some years, then the old man will be replaced by an infant. People do not realize the intermediary deaths, the changes that are occurring all the time. They notice only the last change and call it death. Because such a big operation performed by God to change an older person into an infant does not go unnoticed. In reality, it is just like changing clothes. In grahasta, in the householder phase of life, whatever you do bhagavat karya, actions dedicated to God. When you attend to your husband, take him to be Paramapati, the highest Lord. Think your children to be Bala Gopala, child Krishna. Serve the girls, taking them to be Kanya Kumari, the virgin goddess. Take your wife to be Grihalakshmi, the goddess of the home, and attend to her. Take yourself to be just the manager appointed to manage the property of God. When you attend to the temple, perform your service with seva bhava, an attitude of service to God. If you perform duties with this attitude of seva bhava all the time, what will happen? Then and there you will think of God, and he will remain in your mind all the time. You should just think in this way. This body is your instrument. Use it in whatever way you want. I am doing what you are making me do. I am living in the way you want me to live. I only wish to worship you, to think only of you. I only wish to see you in everybody and everything. You do not do anything without imagination and thinking. Keep him only in your imagination and thought, and then perform actions, and it will become the work of God. Bhagavat Karya, actions performed for God. Perform worldly deeds with righteousness. Bring up the family with Bhagavad Buddhi, the mind focused on God. You will have the way opened for obtaining God right from there. You can proceed in grahastha like this. You have work to do. Think that you are doing it not for you, but for God. Say, "Oh God, this work is your work. You have created it for yourself and are making me do this for you." Even if you still have the attitude of I and you, just say, "Oh God, I am your servant. I am always at your service." If you proceed with nishkama bhava, selflessness, without a desire for any return of fruit, you will find only him and nothing else. So this is how you should proceed in grahastha. And then if you do whatever work you have at hand with devotion, it will help you have yoga, union, with kriya, action. That kriya yoga, the yoga of combining one's action with God, will open the way for you. Therefore, if you have aham, the small I am, in you, spread it out so much that every action becomes Bhagavat Kriya. Once you transform your aham into Bhagavat Kriya, you will see that anger, desire, and attachment will all come to an end. Once you devote your mind to that path and state, you will see that the anger and the displeasure that is making you miserable will end, and automatically the way will open for you that will help you obtain that nitya, the eternal one. The thing that makes you miserable will vanish, and you will never find it again in the future because it is a thing that must go. Jai Ma.
It's beautiful. So what are your thoughts about this reading, Pragya?
Wow. I don't know about thoughts. I have feelings. I mean, everything is contained here. It's so beautiful. I love that Ma tells us how to talk to God. Like she says, she gives us what we should say. This body is your instrument. Use it in whatever way you want. I am doing what you are making me do. I am living in the way you want me to live. I only wish to worship you, to think only of you. I only wish to see you in everybody and everything. I mean, that's the instructions right there. I also love this idea that she speaks about a lot in these different talks, that if we have the small I am, the small aham, we need to spread it into the large aham, which is the great I am. That image really stays with me. This idea of spreading this so that the small aham becomes everything, becomes the great I am. So yeah, there's so many things, but it's just so beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you, Pragya. Yeah. This is a perfect definition of karma yoga, as described in the Bhagavad Gita. Because it does require, to really find God, it does require both inner and outer work. Like we have to have our inner meditation, which Ma also instructs us in, tells us how to meditate. And she emphasizes using the mantra in God's name. But then I've seen people in my life who do regular meditation, but then they get out and they just live a selfish life and are angry all the time and do all these awful things, but they're meditating. So we have to have both wings of the bird, so to speak. We have to be able to meditate and have our inner life, but then we have to also have this attitude, like Ma said, to serve, because to define the problem is to find a problem, to find the solution. The problem is, like Ma said, we have the small aham, the small I am, which is the ego, which is all boxed in just a misperception of ourselves as a body and mind. So Ma tells us to expand that by remembering God constantly, because by remembering God, only then can the mind expand into something beyond the small little self. And yeah, it's so beautiful the way she says it. She tells it, as Pragya says, she tells us what to say. That we try to think of God all the time. Gloria and I have a very dear friend who's a Russian Orthodox priest named Father Stefan, and he was saying a nice thing too. He said, we can dedicate ourselves to God in the morning, and 3 hours we can just forget it. We'll be immersed in worldly selfishness. And he suggested every 3 hours just stopping and doing some kind of remembrance of God, some short prayer, the name of God like this. But Ma's advice is so wonderful that we serve everyone as God. We serve our wife, our husband, our children, even our employer. We're serving God. We're thinking. And she said in another place that if we have this attitude that we do a work, even if it's building a fence or scrubbing a floor, if we do it with this attitude, I'm serving God through this minor physical work, that service will go to God. God will accept it. So Ma and all the saints and all the scriptures say, try to remember God as much as possible. And this is why the mantra is so important to us also. We can repeat the mantra throughout the day, just as we do a meditation, help us remember. So yeah, this is such a perfect advice for every single human being. Just try to see God in everything and in everyone and serve everyone as God. And it's not easy. We forget. We're so conditioned to just living our life selfishly and thinking of gain and loss and all these things. But see, that's what traps us in action. When we create karma, either good or bad, and just keep getting it, reaping it, getting it, reaping it, have to take new bodies to reap more desires. And even if it's good karma, we reap pleasant things, we're still trapped in this loop. But if we offer all the karma to Ma, whatever we do, we just say, Swaha, Ma, you take this. Then she uses that to free us from the bond of rebirth. So yeah, we just got to remember God at all times. Very good. Any other thoughts? Well, either Prana, Pragya, or Katya, Saraswati. Anybody have any thoughts about this reading? Anybody at all? Open the floor. It's very practical. You have to unmute whoever's going to speak.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah, Rainy.
That's easy to say, like serve everyone as, God, but what if they're not worthy of it by our perspective?
No, it's a super good question. I've lived with people and I've had bosses that were absolutely miserable. Definitely not God in my mind. Definitely not. But they are. They really are. We have to just look beyond. Again, like you say, it's not easy. This is, anybody can say, yes, serve everyone as God. But it's true, you have a difficult person who's causing you suffering. We have to just look past that personality and know that consciousness is also divine. And I'm in this position of being under their, of working with them because of my own karma. So I have to see them as God and think, okay, I'm going to serve you as God. And what's interesting, that very often disarms them. I've had that experience too, where I've been with people who are very bossy and this and that, and I just think, okay, you're God. And so I serve them with humility, and it really disarms them, and they stop being so rotten at the same time. But it's not easy. It's true. It's not easy.
How do we balance that with not allowing ourselves to be mistreated or, like abused?
Another very good question, which she is my boundaries guru. I'm learning boundaries from her because I lived in an ashram for 40 years, lived in different ashrams for 40 years, where you can't say no. No is not an option. You just serve, 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 serve. That is a very practical and very, very real thing. We should never be walked on. We should never be a doormat. No one should ever treat us with disrespect. And we don't retaliate by just, lashing out. But we should always hold our own dignity. We should always hold our own persona without being trampled. And it is possible to do that. It's true. It's a fine line. You want to serve, but if somebody's going to walk over you, take advantage of it, you stand up and lovingly say, I'm sorry, no, that doesn't work for me. This cannot be. You do have to hold boundaries. And it's like I said, I've started learning it from Gloria. But in our life, we have to have that. It's really, really true. We have a dear Sikh friend who worked as a main worker in the Sikh ashram for many years, and they just ran him into the ground. And somebody once said, he finally learned that no is a complete sentence. So that's I'm glad you brought that up, Randy, because it does balance on a practical side Ma's reading. Because yes, we try to truly serve everyone as God. Yes, we truly try to put aside our own little whims and this and that and do what needs to be done. Same time, we do not accept being walked on and used as
That's actually really helpful. I've been working on boundaries too for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I found that when I first started putting them up, I did it with anger because that's the only way I could do it at first. But then over time, it's calmed down and now I can do it a little bit better.
Good.
It's
a fine
helpful.
art. It really is. It's really true. And it's true. It shouldn't be done with anger. It shouldn't be a response, an impulsive response of, ooh, stop that. It's like you step back, stand in your own dignity, stand in your own dignity as a human being and say, no, this is disrespectful. I won't do this. And I'd like to appreciate if you change your attitude very calmly. And like you say, it ain't easy. It's really not easy. We're so used to either lashing out, either letting ourselves be walked on or lashing out and saying blah, 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 blah. But to do it skillfully is really important. And it's again, we just learn by experience. It's an on the job training. Life is an on the job training in general.
At first, all I could do it was with anger, but then, loving awareness of the anger and just self-compassion, just repeating that every time. And then just over time, it gets easier. That's what I found.
Yeah. Good point. Very good point.
But it's helpful to hear that that's actually the right way to do it because that's what I'm doing.
I'm a work in progress too on this. We're all learning this together, but it really is true. Boundaries are super important, and balancing the two. Really serving selflessly, but not letting yourself be taken advantage of. Like Sri Ramakrishna said, "Be a devotee, but why a fool?" He said that.
Wait, be a devotee, but what?
Be a devotee, but not a fool.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mangalanandaji, Andre and is it Natasha have to leave because it's so late there, so they just wanted to.
Oh, Andre, it was a joy to see you and Natasha again. Really happy to see you, and keep in touch and let's try to.
Yeah, I'm a little sorry, but it's really late in south of France, and
Yes,
for
thank
us,
you very much. Thank you for coming at this late hour.
Well, it was a pleasure to see you anyway.
It was so nice to have you here.
Yeah.
Jema.
Thanks a lot.
Take care,
Jema.
Andre. Take care.
Jema.
We also have two hands up.
He's a very sought after teacher of yoga nidra throughout Europe. Really wonderful soul and devotee. Also loves mom. Yeah. Please. Let's open the floor to. Let's open the floor to. Before we do this, saying we wanted to share.
Molly.
And we want to thank people to share things, but let's try to keep on the subject of Ma, her teachings, how we apply them like this, because we have limited time. We don't want to just open it up to everything. Let's think about Ma, how we relate to Ma. But please, let's open up the floor now. So, who's
we have Molly and then Jennifer.
Okay, Molly.
Hi, Jema.
Jema.
I read a beautiful story of when Ma set a boundary. She went to a devotee. I think it was early because it seemed to be his house, and he was sleeping because he had been too lazy to get up. And she was very kind, but Ma said, okay, I'm not going to stay here. And she left and she went outside and cooked outside with Dee Dee. And of course, the gentleman felt very badly. And then he apologized, and then she came back. It was very beautiful because she didn't berate him or anything. She just removed herself. So I was always, because I have a lot of trouble with boundaries. And so that was very beautiful to me. Example, she just sort of, so sometimes I can't leave, but just sort of, as you're saying, remove myself, remove that part of myself that wants to get, either lets itself be or wants to go like that and be still. Thank you, Gemma.
Jema, thank you, Molly.
Jennifer?
I'm just looking if he's frozen again.
Jema, Prajna, I want to thank you for translating. I have your first volume, and I generally put myself to bed reading some of it. So thank you.
You're so welcome.
The
Beautiful,
passage,
yes.
yeah, the passage that you read, well, I have been really working on that, although I would say I forget when I'm just walking down the street. I am generally a pretty courteous person. And so I think that the way that I greet people is generally with that feeling. But when I teach Pilates, and sometimes I'm very tired, um, and I find myself drifting or getting irritated with my clients when I get tired. And there have been times when I have asked Ma in the general sense of all goddess avatars, Ma, to come and help me, what does this body need? And I get to practice that when I'm not tired. I get to practice just looking at my students and my clients and say, who is this? This is the goddess, or this is God. This is, I am teaching this person, and what does God need in this body? What does goddess need in this body? So it is not it's not a constant, but I try to remember to do it every day with every client. And I sometimes forget, but it is um it's a good practice because it keeps me then if I'm teaching Ma or God, it's always um then I can't lose my concentration because this is a sacred being. I can't lose my concentration. I can't lose my um patience. Um and yeah. It's a fun exercise to do, I find. It's very, very fun. Um, but I've also noticed something since I met Ma that there are times when I wake up and I have a mantra in my head already. And that is something that's very beautiful. And it seems to be, it's not always the same mantra, it's the mantra that is needed for that morning. And that's a wonderful gift that I've been given from her.
Beautiful. And good to see you, Jennifer. I didn't see you earlier when we introduced everyone. Can I be heard? Am I on?
Yes, you can be
Yeah, we
heard.
can hear you.
Okay,
No,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Jennifer.
I lose
That's
track
really
of time. I need to put an alarm on for yeah.
sorry, I just got booted out by our miserable Wi-Fi today, so I hope I'm here to stay now.
I just want to say, Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing how you apply this idea of seeing everyone as God, no matter, depending on how much energy you have in that moment. That was really helpful. Thank you for that.
See, this is the importance of satsang. It's so wonderful. Everyone has different ways of applying these teachings, and we can all learn from each other. It's really, really wonderful. I'm so glad we're doing this. This is why Ma stressed this too.
Jane, thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. That was beautiful.
Frank.
And yeah, Frank and Denise, or just Frank at the moment.
Yeah, Frank.
Hello, Jayma. Ooh, my. All right, hopefully I can. Jayma, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to talk about when Ma says, and I was actually talking about it and actually thinking about the statement where she says, that when you pray to God, any country and any age, and I really started to really think about that. And the way I see Ma is that she never spoke really about herself in the body. I always feel like she was talking about oh God, I'm trying to put the words. So when she says that, like, God is a title, but God has many names. So when I heard that is that you can pray to God in any name, in any form, wherever you are, you can call him. She never said to call God Jesus or Ma or Kali or Krishna or nothing. She said God. And whatever name you choose to pray, she said that it hits her like waves. And that to me was like so powerful. She's like giving us a little glimpse of who she is. And that little statement, it's like it really captured me, really made me think about what she's saying in those words. They're really powerful. And I know we've been talking about dreams, and there's a dream I've had many years ago when I was when I first came into Mon 2020, and then this I never shared it with anybody. It's something that just been quiet, but I think I want to share it. And in this dream, I was in a cave, and I can see the light coming from the cave from the outside. And in this cave, there was people there, but I was very tall in this. I was taller than myself. I'm only 5'4". So in this one, I was really tall, but I was covered with like animal furs. And I was just telling the people, you're not the body. You're not the body. You are the soul within the body. You are the Atma. I just kept saying this and kind of yelling at the people. And in this dream, this lady came. It was a young lady, and I recognized her as Ma because there's a picture of Ma sitting like that where she's coming out of samadhi, and she's sitting on the wall. Her legs are stretched out. She's very young, and she's looking to the side. And in this picture, it was her coming like that, and she had a black blouse and a red dress. And when she came to me, she made her way through all the crowd. The people moved, and she came and she did pranam. She bowed to me, and it was something was very touching. When I woke up, I played back, and I recognized her. I knew who she was, and I always wonder why she did pranam to me, why she bowed to me. It's something I'm still trying to grasp, but I started thinking, I don't know, maybe I was a rishi or something. But it was just a very beautiful dream, and I thought I would share it with you guys. Jai Ma.
Thank you, Frank. Ma had many ways of awakening people's divinity, and just one thing was just looking at things. I mean, we when we were traveling with Ma, we were always trying to just do something, ask her questions, so she would look at us. Because when she looked in your eyes, she literally awoke your soul. She awakened your soul just by singing, because she saw you so perfectly. So she had ways of awakening. Maybe she was bowing to your Atman to awaken herself in you, to awaken your Atman in you. Interesting. But it is true. You talked about this statement. Let's listen to this one more time, because it's so amazing. Who can say this but God? Ma says, anyone calling out for God in any land, in any language, and in any age, remember their cries reach this heart like waves crashing onto the shore. See, that's infinite eternal consciousness, not bound by time and space. I mean, that's only, who could say that but God? So people praying, and she often said, many people who never heard this body, I hear them as they speak and pray. It's really interesting. Let me tell a quick story, which I can't remember. I think someone who was visiting either told it to us or wrote it down for us when I was in India. One of Ma's Swamis one time was given a very interesting seva. And they were somewhere up north, and Ma called him and said, find a lady who drives a red car, who lives near here, and bring her here so we can talk with her. And the Swami asked, Ma, can you give me any more information, please? And she says, every day I see her, she worships fire. So she must have been a Parsi. And she has a fire pit, and she stands in front of the fire, and with tears and devotion, she prays. And I see her every day. She wasn't praying to Ma. She didn't know who Ma was. But I see her every day. I like to talk to her. So he went around. This was kind of a mountainous region. He went around to the different villages and tried to find a red car. Finally, he found a red car, and he went to the door, and he knocked and said, my Guru Anandamayi Ma wants to speak to you. You drive this car. So he brought her to Ma. And she became a wonderful devotee, and Ma gave her some further instruction of how to proceed further beyond her simple puja and everything. But so Ma was seeing her praying because she was praying with sincere heart. This very thing, her prayer was reaching her heart, Ma's heart, like the waves crashing against the shore. It's an amazing thing, isn't it? And what's nice to hear these stories, it's not so we think, oh, Ma is so supernatural, Ma is so beyond us. It's to show us that Ma, in her infinitude and her infinite power and skill, she has the ability to save us and help us. It just increases our faith in her that we have someone who really can do the job. It's not, she's qualified for the job of saving us. She's a real savior, and she can really reach down and change our lives and help us in this world and the next. So it's just to increase our faith.
I want to say one thing. It's a little separate.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm really freaking out, you know that phrase, remember, Ma is with me. I've heard Pragya say it 500,000 times. And I hear Pragya's voice come to me saying, Ma is with you. And I think, Ma's with me. I'm good. Just remember that.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Very nice. Thanks, Pragya. Dr. Gloria. Okay, anyone else? Just again, any sharing. We'd love to hear how you came to Ma. What do you think of the readings, or what do you think of just anything related to Ma? We're happy to share.
Like we have any other hands up, but
I think we're good.
Okay. Well, let's do one more kirtan and let's have darshan of Ma. So I'm going to turn my sound back on. I will do one kirtan, and Renu, if you could share your screen and because see, Ma now lives through her photos. She gives darshan through her photos. In my travels over the years, I met so many people who come up and say, they had this photo of Ma and began to speak to me and look at me. Gloria was just saying just the other day, there was some photo of Ma that was looking at her real carefully as she was singing or something. So let's have darshan of Ma's photo and sing, I think I'll just sing that Jaya Jaya Ma one. And sing along with us and behold Ma's photo as Rainer tries to figure out how to share her screen. I'll just start singing, and Rainer, just as soon as you can just do it, okay? Don't worry, we're okay. Jaya Jaya Ma, Jaya Jaya Ma, Jaya Jaya Ma, Jaya 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 So you can stop sharing your screen. There you go. Good. So unless someone has something else you want to mention, we can talk about we're going to have our board meeting of the Anandamayi Ma Ashram and Temple soon, and we're trying to get together our next in-person Samyan Sapta Matri Satsang meeting. We had our last one in September in upstate New York, and many of you were there. I know it was wonderful. We hope to have that again in probably October this year, because Swami Gurushan will come after Navaratri. So we'll keep you updated on that. I'll be going to India again in January and be at Masharanam Ashram. And just did either Renu or Pragya put the ashram website in the chat?
We did.
Good. So check out that and see Pragya's programs coming up, and try to catch as much as you can. For those of you who are local, we'll be doing, Gloria and I will be sharing Kirtan with our great, wonderful band on April 5th in Novato at Sukha Yoga. And let's see, and then in May 17th, we're going to have a spring havan. That's a fire ritual with the Kirtan in another, just be in touch with me. I'll tell you where it's going to be in Fairfax.
And May 4th and 5th will be in yoga farm.
Oh yeah, for Memorial Day weekend, we'll be at the yoga farm in Grass Valley.
Did you say that Swami Guru Shodananda Ji is coming in around Navratri time?
After Navratri, so it'll be probably early October.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll be here coming for the Summit Septa.
What are the dates for Grass Valley?
4th and 5th of May.
4th and 5th of May, yeah.
Is that for this year or next year?
Yeah, just next month, or a couple months, yeah. And Pragya, we'll talk about it. Ma's birthday is coming up April 30th. They celebrate it for a whole month, somewhere in May. So maybe our May satsang will do special Ma's birthday, whether we do it back and forth. We'll work out the details of that.
Hey, Mangalananda Ji, we didn't do meditation. We normally do a meditation.
Well, that's true. Let's do some meditation. See, that's why you're my external memory, and
it's so early.
Because the internal memory is totally gone now. Okay, so let's sit for a few minutes, and I'll just talk us through it so we can start together. The way Ma would always suggest, the way I was trained in her lineage, that we sit quietly and we let the body be relaxed, but firmly held in place and upright. And we relax the body totally, and just breathe out and relax all the muscles of the body. And then we relax the mind. We let the thinking process just unwind and be at peace and ease. And we let the mind rest in the present moment, just being here and now, resting in this wonderful open spaciousness of just now, right now. And in this space of now, we just observe the breath, moving back and forth without changing it or conditioning it, just observing its natural rhythm, letting the mind just sink down into the breath, feeling its touch as it goes in and out, and just letting the mind follow and be immersed in the fullness of each breath. And then we add whatever mantra we're working with in rhythm with that breathing. So if for instance, if we're saying Om Ma, as we breathe in, we mentally intone Om Ma. As you breathe out, Om Ma, Om Ma. And we just continue this for as long as we sit, letting the mind be immersed in the breath and the mantra vibrating in the breath. So we're breathing the name in and out very peacefully, and with full devotion and prayer and love. with the mind wanders, we just gently bring it back to the mantra and the breath. Every time it goes, we gently bring it back and let it be immersed in the breath and the mantra. O you who take us across this sea of life, who are the embodiment of bliss, you hold knowledge and devotion in your hands. To that divine mother Anandamayi we bow. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurmamritam Gamaya Aviravirmedhi. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Shri Anandamayi Mata Ki Jai. Thank you all for joining us. Be in touch. We're here every third Sunday of the month. And if you're local, please come sing Kirtan with us. And if you wanted to unmute and say goodbye, we could look at each other in gallery. Good to see everybody.
Hey, Ma, everyone.
Jai Ma, everyone.
Thank you, Jai Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Emma,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
Monster on his wall.
Oh, a mantra.
A monster. A monster.
Jai Ma, thank
Jai
you.
Ma.
Bye-bye.
Jema.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Satya, that's beautiful.
Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
it was
much.
beautiful.
Jaima, thank you,
Oh,
everybody.
kitty.
And
Nice
Stephen,
to
I'll
see
answer your letter
you.
soon, okay?
Cute. What's their name? Saraswati?
This is Shiva. Shakti
Shiva.
somewhere else. Yeah,
Shiva.
Shiva and
A kitty cat.
Shiva, Shiva,
kitty
Shiva.
cat.
Cute.
Everyone, take care.
Jai Ma.
Say
Bye-bye.
Great to see you all. Jai Ma.